Hey, God bless you, everyone. Bobby here. Welcome to Five for Life. 5 minutes to bless your life so that you can bless someone else. Well, it's February, and it is that this time of year that we take the time to remember the great contributions made to our society and to our world by great black men and great black women. Today, I wanted to share again my gratitude for this great man of God. I've talked about him many times, but I'm going to talk about him today because he's so influential in my life and in the lives of many, many other musicians. When I was very young, I already had a love of music. It was just given to me. It's always been with me. But I was listening to a very limited selection of what the kingdom of God was offering and what the church was offering. And one day, my brother, who was living in Maryland at the time, who was not living with us in Brooklyn, came and visited in Brooklyn, and he brought a double LP. Y'all don't know what that is. A double record of this man to the house. And I put on the music of Andrae Crouch, and I was smitten. I could not believe what I was hearing. I did not know music like this existed, and I was changed forever. And the music that this man was singing just captivated me. The joy, the stylings, the energy of it. This double LP was the one that had songs like "Take a Little Time" and "Tell Them" and "My Tribute" and "Just Like He Said He Would" and "Through It All" and "I Don't Know Why Jesus Loved Me" and "Jesus Is the Answer" and "Bless the Lord, All My Soul." All those classic songs that we still sing from time to time were on this live recording. And it really impacted my life in a mighty, mighty way. And then a couple of years later, when we were a little older, my sisters and I traveled to Maryland to spend the summer with my brother. And in the house, he had this record. I don't know if you guys remember this one. And I heard it, and I just kept playing it every day, over and over again. This is the Take Me Back album of Andrae Crouch, with that legendary song as the title track. This album also featured songs like "Praises" and "Just Like He Said He Would" and "Ain't No New Thing," and of course the title track, and "Tell Them." Of course, here and on the other album we have Andrae leading with his legendary sister, Pastor Sandra Crouch. We have the late Danny Bell Hall. We have the smooth voice of Billy Thetford and Perry Morgan, and we have Bill Maxwell at the production helm playing the drums, and we have Fletch Wiley on the trumpet, and so many others, Abraham Laboreal and Joe Sample and so many other guys lending their incredible talents to the music that is happening on this project. Well, many, many years later, I was driving down Remsen Avenue, heading south, near the intersection of Remsen and Ditmas, gas station on my right, I'll never forget. And I was listening to the radio. And on the radio, I heard the tenor voice of a man singing these haunting and powerful words. Jesus said, "Here I stand. Won't you please let me in?" And I said, "I will tomorrow." And yes, I was listening to the first time the sound of the Winans, and this was their Tomorrow recording. And Carvin Winans was singing the lead to that legendary song. It was not their first album, but it was my first introduction to this group, who was discovered by Andrae Crouch. And it was through his efforts that we got the Winans, and we got to hear that wonderful ministry and other songs like "Just Don't Want to Be Loved" and "Love is a Spirit" and "Bring Back the Days of Yea and Nay" and "Uphold Me." Everything You Touch is a song. All of those songs were on that album, and thanks to Andrae, we received the Winans, a ministry that is still blessing us today. Maybe I'll talk about them in another episode. Well, early in the days, the Winans had a bass player by the name of Fred Hammond, and I came late to the commission party. This was the first album that I had that I really listened to commission. And if you look, there's Fred right there in the middle. This is a powerful album, and this album was also the first one that another legendary musician, Marvin Sapp, sang with the group. So we are introduced to Marvin Sapp here, and then of course Marvin is still blessing the church with so much great music. But Fred Hammond has blessed us with so much great music, with Radicals for Christ, and then later on with his own ministry. And I can go on and on with the Andrae Crouch tree. Thanks to him, and the influence of these other men, we got blessings like Joanna Rosario and Daniel Johnson. And then finally, this young man, Israel Houghton, preeminent songwriter and worship leader, who on this particular album, it was a studio album, and it's a really great album, a little underrated by many, but it's a fantastic album. On this album, he sang a song called Taste and See, and he said it was in Andrae style. He even did a little bit of an imitation of the great Andrae Crouch in the song. And of course, Israel still continues to bless us, and many are blessing us through his influence. So we thank God for these men and women of God. We thank God for Andrae Crouch, who I had the pleasure of meeting once in LaGuardia Airport. And I thank God for the gift that God gave us through this man, and the gift of powerful music that continues to bless the world. I'll see you next time on Five for Life. Remember to celebrate the people who have made impact in your life as well.
Je